Hello people, I'm Ginny Metheral, I'm a 4th generation witch. I want to talk to you today about autumn witchcraft rituals. This is a time of year when the slightly stale, almost stagnant energy of summer needs to be sort of whipped up and changed because we're coming into real autumn turnings. Summer is still not quite finished. However, autumn is very much here. So I want to show you a couple of autumn witchcraft rituals that you can do. I don't just do autumn rituals though, I also do bedtime rituals, and I've been helped in this by today's sponsor, who is Aura. Aura is the all-in-one app for mindfulness, CBT, journaling, coaching, life therapy. It's a really good app. It brings in all the different aspects into one place, and so therefore you've got every therapist in the palm of your hand and your phone. I'm a little bit ADHD and all over the place, and therefore Aura really gives me some tips with which I can contain my life a bit better and make sure that it all runs a bit more smoothly. Aura's brilliant at stress and anxiety, and goodness knows we all suffer from that. First 500 people to sign up using my link, which is on screen now, will get 25% off and a free trial. It's a really good way to just dip your toe into this particular subject. So try it out today for free using my link. Thank you, Aura, for sponsoring this video. I feel like I've been practicing witchcraft before I was even born. Every year I find that the seasons, as they change, there is always something new to look at, to do, and rituals that really connect me to the earth. I'm very much a traditional witch, and as a result I do like to honour this time of year with a couple of cosy witchcraft rituals which should be very useful in the coming months. Autumn is a transition period, isn't it? The earth exhales and the leaves start to fall. It is also a time when summer's energy is a bit stale and almost stagnant. You want to clear out stagnant energy so that you can welcome in that clean autumn feel. And one of the ways to do this is with autumn rituals. So, of course, the first thing that you always do before you start any rituals is to clean. Now, I was looking at my room the other day and I opened my cabinet and found it to be utterly horrible and full of mess. And so therefore it is time for me to have a quick autumn clean-up and make sure that everything is in order. Now, one of the best ways to clean your house is not just physically with a brush and some polish, as you can see I'm doing here, but it is psychically. The psychic energy that we've got in our home, this leftover stagnant summer energy, needs to be sort of pushed out to be renewed by the bright gold energy of autumn. And the best way to do this is to use incense. I'm going to use incense from fresh leaves. Now, you don't have to use fresh leaves. In fact, it's much easier if you dry them, although the energy is not quite as strong. However, it is an instant incense, this, that I can use to waft around my room and cleanse all the stale energy and replace it with autumn's golden hue. It couldn't be easier, this particular incense. I simply used some bay, which is growing outside my house because it's incredibly protective. I added to this lavender, which is a cleansing herb and always has been, which is why you have lavender scented bags in your washing. And finally, rosemary, because I like it. You simply pull off tiny little bits and add it to your incense burner from each herb. And then this incense burner can be taken around the 4 corners of your home and clear out all that old summer energy. I was walking in the woods and I was noticing how beautiful all the seed pods and the trees are at the moment. And this is when I came across a stunning oak tree. And look, these 3 acorns are going to make a marvellous spell for protection. A seed itself holds so much power. If you can imagine that, from this seed, this tiny acorn, a mighty oak will grow. And there is a huge amount of magical energy stored within a seed. I mean, huge amounts. And so we're going to use this energy to protect our home over the darkening nights of winter. The spell is simplicity itself. You simply take your 3 acorns and cast a circle around them using 3 candles in order to mimic and expand the energy of the 3 acorns. Once you've cast your circle, you can charge the energy of protection into those acorns, as you can see I'm doing here, and then it becomes a talisman to hold in your bag, in your car, anywhere that you feel you need protection. Will be especially useful during Samhain festival. As a traditional witch, I do like to pay attention to the seasons and work with them because the energies then align much better if you do so. And this sort of September tide is when you really need to think about the transition from summer to autumn. Because, of course, the summer energy, as I've said, is slightly stale, and getting rid of it really then brings us into that sort of new broom feel that September has. It does have a sort of hopeful, oh, look at the colours forming on the trees, look at the beautiful sunshine and the excitement that's going to be Samhain that's happening any moment now. We've collected in our harvest, we've collected in our berries. I've spent a lot of time picking blackberries and I have a freezer full of them. But my daughter looked at the freezer full of blackberries and said, well, that'll only do about 3 blackberry and apple pies, which is I'm a bit upset about it, it probably will. She likes a lot of blackberries in her pies. However, this is the time that we are going to look forward to this abundant season. Thank goodness the equinox is coming up, this season of balance where we will really tip the world into the darkening days of winter and sweep out the remnants of summer. And that's what we're doing with these rituals. This is part of my everyday practice. I honestly do this all the time. I follow these small rituals and I make them up myself, or I read about them in books, or I do them with my coven. It depends on how I'm feeling, quite honestly, about what rituals I do. And this brings me on to what do you do for your rituals for autumn? I would love to know, only because this is how we learn from each other. You tell me, I tell you. And your rituals will have a different aspect or pick up a different nuance of the energy that we're using and changing. There is nothing I like further than protecting myself and having this sweeping new broom through autumn to ensure that my winter is going to be joyous and cosy. If you would like to learn about this a bit more in depth, why not go to my Patreon page at patreon.com/Ginny Metheral. On that page, you will find my witchcraft course. I've got one of my course members has now just suddenly finished, and which is very exciting. It's my first finisher because it's a fairly new course. And the difference in them between the beginning of when they started the course and the end is incredible. They had been practicing magic for a couple of years, but this just really fine-honed their skills, and it was quite wonderful to see. Go and have a look at patreon.com/Ginny Metheral. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, because that means that I can keep on making these videos for you and we can talk to each other or continue talking to each other, which is my favourite part of being on YouTube. I do like the chat. Otherwise, I hope your autumn is as abundant as mine, and I will see you next week.